All right, what we're gonna do today is a movement called a power clean. We're gonna do this with dumbbells, but you can actually do it with a lot of pieces of equipment. I'll show you a couple variations just so you can kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Traditionally, this is done most often with a barbell. So if you had a barbell, what that would look like is I would have the barbell on the floor, maybe with some weights on it. I'm gonna bring that weight up to my front rack position, which is what this is called here, and that is the power clean. So again, starting on the ground or with my hips hinged at this angle where the weights would be resting on the ground, then I'm snapping my hips, bringing it up, finishing at this standing position after I receive it in the power position, which is a hip and knee bent position. So let me show you now with a couple different objects. Next one would be this larger ball. This could be a bag of dog food or some other object, a bag of soil, something that you need to get from the ground to shoulder height. And the most efficient way to do that would be this power clean motion. So just to dissect this a little bit, if I were to go in slow motion, I'm hinging at my hips, standing up with a nice flat back. Then once I pass my knees, I raise my chest. I finish with this movement we call triple extension, which is a shrug, extending my hips and my knees and my ankles. Once I've created this shape, I'm going to drop down towards the floor and release my object, this is where the weightlessness comes in that object, because I've just popped it up, creating this triple extension. Now I'm gonna drop underneath it, receive the weight again, and then stand it all the way up. So again, in real time, just to show you from the side here, that would be my power clean, like that. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the object that I'm gonna have you do for the workout today, which is 2 dumbbells. So I would recommend maybe a moderate to light dumbbell, especially if this is your first go at this. If you've been doing these for a while and you feel very comfortable with dumbbell power cleans, feel free to turn that weight up a little bit, go something heavier. I'm using a pair of 20s, but you can certainly go lighter than that. So let me demonstrate what that's gonna look like. I'm gonna grab this weight. I'm gonna hinge over, starting it with just the weights barely touching the ground. I got a nice flat back. I'm gonna show you in regular speed and then I'll talk about it. So as you noticed, I'm bringing it up, keeping my flat back. I'm going into this power position, snapping my hips, creating that triple extension. That momentum brings the weight up, and then I drop and receive it with this nice upright torso, weight on my heels, nice strong power position. Let me show you 2 more from the side, then I'll show you 2 from the front, okay? So hinging over, tapping, power clean, power clean. Okay, now from the front. And again. Very good. Okay, go ahead and set those down. What we're gonna do for this workout is 5 repetitions every 90 seconds, every minute and a half, for 5 rounds. So that's 25 total reps, but this should not, we don't want this to be a speed workout. This is more about developing the skill, the motor patterning, teaching your body and brain to be dialed in on the same page of this particular movement pattern. And so I'm gonna set a clock. This is a good workout to have some water nearby. You're gonna get breaks every round. And so take advantage of that. We can bring your heart rate down, have a sip of water, all that. I'm gonna set the clock. Again, we're going every 90 seconds for 5 rounds. We're doing 5 repetitions. Starting in 10 seconds. I'm gonna show you from the side angle. I think that's the most helpful. 3, 2, 1, and go ahead. 5 times. These don't have to be rushed or fast. Feel free to reset in between. And once you get to 5, set those weights down. You're gonna have the rest of the time, which is about a minute, to just rest. Bring your heart rate down. Big inhales. Slow exhales. That's a really good way to bring your heart rate down. If you can make those inhales through your nose, even better. And again, feel free to help yourself to water at any point. We're gonna be going again in about 35 seconds. And you can always adjust your weight as well in the workout. If you're like, oh wow, this is way harder than I thought it was gonna be, I should go a little lighter, do that. If conversely you feel like, oh man, this is super easy, I probably can go a little heavier, that's welcome as well. Just really make sure you're moving well. That's the purpose of this workout, trying to move in this particular way. We have 10 more seconds, and then we're going again. Try to have your feet about hip width apart, or maybe a little wider than that. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice flat back. 5 repetitions. And once you get to 5, set those down. Get a few breaths. Again, we have about a minute to rest till our next round. A couple big inhales. If you can make that through your nose, even better. And slow exhale. "30 seconds. "10 seconds. Going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Once you get to 5, set those down. Got another minute to rest before round number 4. Takes our muscles about a minute and a half to recover its cellular energy at about 70%. So put another way, when we're a minute and a half into our rest, we're about 70% recovered from the effort we just did, which is enough for us to then repeat that effort, at least for 5 rounds. If we were going to do 10 rounds, we have 10 seconds. That might be a different story. So, all right, we're going in 3, 2, 1, and pick up your weights. 5 reps. And once you get to 5, set those down. We have one more round coming up. Now, sometimes when we do a workout, we don't want to let our body recover all the way, and not even 70%. We want to keep hammering it until we can't do anymore, because that might be the goal of that particular workout. But oftentimes when our goal is to develop a new skill, build a new motor pattern, teach our body and brain a new way to connect, we want to optimize that rest to allow us to perform our best for each round. So a minute and a half, in my opinion, is kind of the minimum threshold for allowing your body to recover like that. And that might not even be enough sometimes, but that's at least within the zone where we can start to be recovered enough to where we can put another good effort forward. So that's where that time comes from, if you're curious. Our final round is coming up in 10 seconds. Last 5 power cleans. 3, 2, 1, go. And 5. Once you're done with all those, set those down. You can shake it out if that's tight at all. You got about another minute and a half to rest. I would use this final minute, about a minute, to bring your heart rate down one last time. That's a really good skill to continue to work on, as well as just allowing your body to recover enough to perform that next effort. And doing that with some big inhales, slow exhales, is a really helpful way to do that. Great job with your workout. Looking forward to next time.